So as far as the craziness of the world, I see, even though I'm in India, it's the internet. I see everything's going on. It's complete insanity, heartbreaking for me. The more I see the severe division, partisan division, which each side thinking they're completely right and the other side is completely wrong, the more I have to step away from all of that. Maybe I agree with some things on this side and I agree with some things on that side and I disagree. It can't be 100% one side is evil and the other side is saintly. It's ridiculous. So the more I see that insanity, the less I want to be engaged in that, the more I want to be engaged in peace and the work of peace as well, and the sharing of peace. So if someone else wants to get on it's fine. I'm not complaining. Protest, that's great, no problem. Or get on a soapbox and rail and rant and rail about the particular opinion that they have, which may change next year, by the way. This is not for me. I Peace isn't going to be found when one side is absolutely right. It's never going to work like that. Peace is found here within each person, which is why all of you are here. So all of us here have the potential for actual peace, not the peace when our political side wins. This is very flimsy, and it's going to change in the next election. It's going to be just the opposite. So the more I see all of that insanity, it really hurts actually to see it. It breaks my heart because I know there's peace possible. And I work with so many people who also know this. And there's no answer, but it'd be nice if everyone really knew the real peace, wouldn't it? It's just we don't though. We're so convinced of our opinions, man. And I have opinions, but they change. I don't count on my opinions, man. Even Al Gore said 20 years ago, and I even have these words in a song that I wrote a long time ago. Even he said, I don't know how deeply he really got the message. I don't think he did, but his words were really wise. He said, there's no political or social or religious solution. There's no political, social, or religious solution. There isn't. How many thousands of years have we tried religious, political, and social solutions? And look at the fucking world now. What good has it done? Because that's not where the solution lay. The solution lays within each person individually to find the peace within themselves. That's the only possibility. The kingdom of God is within. It's not in the right political situation. It's never, ever, ever going to be that way, ever. No way. And so I gave up all of that a long time ago. I don't think Al Gore really got the message, but those words he said were good.
But wouldn't you agree that, for the most part, there's a sense of control that's being established at a hierarchical level at a religious or political level that tends to control how we operate? I mean, because that's been the dominant teaching, right? Since early childhood, right? And that there's a hierarchical means in which somebody is given the orders and the rules in which you need to follow. And so therefore, how do you bring your mind back into this place where you're not trying to control or avoid the control of what's happening?
Very good question. And of course, that's true. The people in power, of the people who seemingly control at the level of the human body mind level and rules and regulations, they're seemingly in control. But does that mean, and before I get to that, I want to say, if we live in a society, whatever society we live in, we abide by the rules of the society. I live in India and I abide by the rules of Indian society. If I lived in America, I abide by the rules of American society. If I don't like it, then go somewhere else. But the more deep level of, or more nuanced thing I'd like to say about this is that all of those people in control, if they can control your peace, then shame on you, not shame on them, you know, because they're not going to control my peace. Sorry.
Well, I think you've had a lot more training than most people, and I have had a lot more training than others in my surrounding community. You know what I mean? And so I can regulate or basically be such that I see what others may not be able to see, and I can control and have peace. You know what I mean? But it's taken years of training for me
Hmm.
to get to this point. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
anyway,
No, that's good. That's very good. And each person walks their own life, you know, so there's nothing we can do in that way for anyone else. I can't push this message on someone that is not already open to this message, to hearing it for whatever reason. Like everyone on the call, all the people that come to my intensives, all the people over the years I've worked with, hundreds or thousands, whatever. If someone is not hearing this message or interested, it will just roll off their back, you know. It won't mean anything. So I don't have any pretense that I can convince anyone of anything. I'm not even trying to convince anyone when I work with them. I just present uh, a possibility, a view, a different view. And for someone with the ears to hear and the eyes to see, then they can recognize that view. So I don't really, not that I don't care, I do care, but I can't worry about people who are not resonating because it's just not their karma for whatever reason. The people who are politicians and the ones in control, very greedy, power mad people, they're not interested in this message. And what can I do about that? You know, nothing, nothing at all.